Alright, the finale. It's now or never. Alright. Let's get our gamer face on. Let's get our gamer goggles on. Let's get our gamer juice in. Let's do this thing. All rise from the save point. Edgeworth. Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of that ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there's still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I could call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right, and Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it! I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know is the truth. And the way to do it is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? This is it. This is it! If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has on her, it's now or never. February 25th, 10 a.m., District Courtroom number 9. Oh boy, here it is.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement.
I love how the Pepe emotes are on Edward's face. That's so funny. And apparently it seemed to have a bit of an allergic reaction to some emotes.
Before that, the police chief has a proposal to make.
Chief Gant?
Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Udgy, been back to the pool yet?
No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work.
Oh ho, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that.
If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours?
Ahem. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court.
She wants to do what?
Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble.
Oh god, now we have to cross-examine her? What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial.
Huh?
I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana.
Objection!
You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. Alana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
The defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
This can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant...
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth!
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Hey, yo, Edgeworth's coming in clutch.
Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you, but why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut?
I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant.
What?
Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes? Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes.
Some kind of deal? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy.
I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom?
As its first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Hold it, Mr. Edgeworth. I am exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it.
Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant?
Worthy.
You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Oh no. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Emma Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark, one of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then.
You sure gave in fast. Did I actually give a shout out to Curry yet? I feel like I haven't given a shout out to Curry yet if he's still here. Oh yeah, I might as well give a shout out to Curry, because he's also played the Phoenix Wright game. There we go. Objection. Here's a shout out. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. Curry's also a fellow variety streamer, and he also plays different games like Cedarbox, and I do too, even though Cedarbox is an OG Overwatcher. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
It's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable, however. Please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Mr. Detective Goodman's murder?
That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage considering he has zero evidence.
Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
First of all, let's save. Emma doesn't have any reason to lie. Lana sure does. I need to get Emma to tell me as much as she can. Alright, so I guess we're gonna have to press her on everything.
Hold it!
That must have been a real shock.
Even though now when I close my eyes, I can still see it just as clearly.
Tell us, what were you doing at that moment? I believe you testified that Joe Dark was holding you hostage.
When a lightning struck and the lights went out, Mr. Marshall jumped on Dark. I was thrown aside and the two began wrestling each other. I'm pretty sure I was watching them.
Emma doesn't have any reason to lie.
Hold it!
Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake then. Just then the lights went out.
The lights?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So the electricity went out?
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told the detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman, the victim. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago, though.
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw.
Yes, but at the time the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
Picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
This picture the witness drew, I believe it has a very important meaning.
Objection!
But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's not lost. It's on the back of this evidence list.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth? This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence?
Huh?
Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that, as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold!
This is the evidence list for the SO9 incident?
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over, turn it... What's this?
Yes, what is that?
Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew.
Emma's a little bit tall in that witness stand.
Indeed, two men appear to be wrestling here.
Objection!
What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
Huh? These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth? It's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only one half of the evidence in that case ever reached you.
What? What?
What?
Order, order. Miss Sky, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. Giotto Mate, if this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor?
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's possible. Let's see.
Is something wrong?
Do you even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. It's that thing!
That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Certainly this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Okay.
Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at the picture.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were the shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
The thing that a flash of lightning can burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Emma's picture. First, we're going to save that. That's strange. She claims that this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
Hold it!
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives?
Objection!
Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. I better watch out, or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. So I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Oh, well. That's strange. She claims this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. I'm looking at this sideways now.
Hold it!
Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew 2 or 3 days later. At first, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Sky. Hey, what's up, Matt? Let me go ahead and... Stupid capture card. Come on, capture card. There we go. Matt is also an OG streamer, a fellow streamer from the New York side in the United of States. He's also a pretty PogChamps RPG and variety Nintendo PC game streamer. Go ahead and check out his content when you can. Hope you've been doing well, Matt. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should have still been fresh in her mind.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted in all black?
Painted black. That reminds me of that song. So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue. Oh, I just based it off of the, Ace Attorney Dual Destiny Spirit of Justice voice.
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed?
Hold it!
You mean you didn't see the actual murder took place?
No, I'm sorry.
Objection!
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? No, I'm not the bad guy here.
Anyway, this picture.
Let's save first, because I have a feeling we need to present some evidence in that one particular picture. Do I have to present her the full evidence list? It feels like I need to present her the full evidence list. Wait, hold on a second. Stabbed in the back. Died from a puncture, heart, and lung. A knife tip was... Wait, hold on a second. Wait a second. But is that what happened, though?
Objection!
Autopsy report contradicts what Emma says. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
But I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
Take that!
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a good look at the knife the man is holding. If you look closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was the conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dark was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma.
Objection!
And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
What's the meaning of this?
Objection!
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand.
Objection!
I think not. I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
Objection!
Oh my god, enough objections. The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken.
Objection!
Oh god. That's why I asked her so many times if she was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time, but she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency.
Objection!
Oh god. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? You know, funny enough, not so fast is actually an objection catchphrase that was used in Ace Attorney Investigations. I won't say which character, but it is a featured sound file. About a little something called falsified evidence. You're treading on thin ice here, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. Ooh. You can't deny the possibility.
Order, order, order in the court. Are you saying the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department... Okay, this is the Danganronpa sequence of making comics. If you played Danganronpa, this is the part where you would make the comics. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors award at the ceremony, Neil Marshall questioned Joe Dark along with Damon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dark fled the room. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him and was killed by Dark. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding up a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This could not have been the actual murder weapon. There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances of there being two...
Oh. You boys figured it out. Another broken knife besides Joe Dark's? Could there have been one? There is another one. If the witness is this adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright.
In that instant, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I'd assume, then, that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon was already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here's the real murder weapon.
Take that!
The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture.
This is a picture of the award ceremony. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding?
That's a broken knife.
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw was in all likelihood from this reward.
Order, order, order.
Neil Marshall was awarded King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in this dangerous situation.
Objection!
But that can't be. Oh, and why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutor award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh. Oh! That makes sense.
But the prosecutor was the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here? It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Hold it. Wait. I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness?
Oh, a certain prosecutor held a taser. But we already took care of his case.
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
could you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? Oh, this one with that picture scribbled on the back.
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
What? You drew that?
That's right.
I figured she'd draw the whole thing.
This list wasn't torn in half at the time I drew this picture.
She drew the entire thing.
This time I've been trying so hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's
Testimony, damn it.
Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Sky?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up and now the blue badger? This should be interesting. Oh boy.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Oh, we have something to contradict that. Oh, there's a contradiction. Oh, we got a contradiction.
This is certainly most unusual.
Objection!
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross...
Stop, please! Don't pursue this any further. Lana,
What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
but you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime. Why can't you just leave it at that? Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back.
Silence!
That's another sound file that's going to be in a later game.
The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
It seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Alright, let's see what Phoenix summarizes after listening to all this. The Blue Badger didn't even exist 2 years ago. So what exactly did Emma see? I've gathered all the evidence. All that's left now is to put the pieces of the... Oh, that's a major hint. That's a major hint. Major hint. Alright, let's see if this works, though. If not, we're gonna have to press M a little bit. You didn't see the Blue Badger, you saw this doohickey.
Objection!
The mysterious Blue Badger was, in fact, this.
Well, that's... exactly what is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
Our viewpoint?
I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Oh, 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 oh.
Take that!
Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger. No.
Oh, it can't be!
But it is.
Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Objection!
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains.
What's your point?
What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection!
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see,
This changes everything.
indeed? Very well then. Please tell us, what's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant.
Objection!
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Objection!
Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office.
Objection!
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. If there wasn't a reason, why wouldn't he have gone through the trouble? The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would we have hit?
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, it would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking. Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course the perpetrator would have had no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I could go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter?
If events took place as defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall. What a twist!
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me?
Oh, no!
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this.
So was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
Objection! What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances,
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe her insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that might prove as my sister killed Neil Marshall?
evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence.
If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Oh, except for... Oh, no, Maya's not here. Oops. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us with a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life. In one manner or another.
That's impossible. Masaka.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
Got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind, it could be in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is to not accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be.
Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
The jar, of course. This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, so you're just going to speak the killer's name?
If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here, on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
There is a line here, drawn in blood.
So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is to connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I've got to connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Are we back now? Okay. That was weird. Twitch decided to drop down again. I am sure that, again, my bitrate is not performing as expected. Wow. Come on, Twitch. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind.
Of all people, She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Sky.
See, Worthy? Can't say I didn't warn you.
Hey, it's the Mr. Smiley guy again, Mr. Smiley Chief. Chief Gant.
Oh, do you understand the implications of what you've done?
What are you talking about?
2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Swarthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
Objection!
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice.
What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
If Starbucks, you mean Starbucks, not Starburst. I mean Starbucks or Starburst. Either way, it would be a peach flavored. This dude would be the flavor. Hey, new stock footage. New stock sound effects.
What's going on at the prosecutor's office? He might have sent an innocent man to his death. How could he just stand there like it wasn't his fault?
Order, 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 order.
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Oh, God. Bam, 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 bam. Okay, how far are we now? How far are we now? I need to double check. Well, we're in this together, folks. February 25th, 1206, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Oh, hey, Rathalos. You came here at a time when we're playing a different game, and we're finally finishing another game. I mean, it's all good, Kaiser dude. I'll think about it. Yeah, I hate cliffhangers too. Sorry, Edgeworth, but I didn't mean to get you in trouble. Don't worry about it. This is my problem. This is my problem, not yours.
Hey, hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
I hope you're liking my voices so far, Matt, if you're still there. Sorry if your internet's, well, Twitch has been acting up again on my end. It's just weird.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Grab some coffee in the meantime for that.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You've got a lot of nerve, pal, making a detective run around while on duty.
And I take this voice a lot more seriously than I do the anime dub, the official anime dub version of this dude's voice.
And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals.
Did you say that before? I take it Lana's having you run errands again.
Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give this to you after there was a break in today's trial.
Evidence law? Edgeworth was talking about this just the other day. You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, really.
I mean, how are you doing, Rathlos? I haven't seen you in forever. I mean, unless you're coming by to say hi, then I will greet your salutations, but if I won't see you around again, then I hope you have a farewell and a very wonderful evening, morning, or afternoon.
The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book.
Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read.
Doesn't look like that book will do any good now, though. All that's left now is the chief prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
Huh?
Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat, despite all these allegations being thrown at me.
Mr. Edgeworth,
The real trial today hasn't begun yet.
what else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all but ruined with this forged evidence you were unaware of. Emma Skye found out that she unwittingly caused a man's death, and now you're telling me you want to do more? You've got to be kidding me, pal.
You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely struck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there.
Wait, what?
And we're going to expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. I agree, Mr. Wright. I agree. February 25th, 1252, District Court, Courtroom number 9.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
the inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions.
Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Yes, well, normally this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness, but, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have,
Struck a bargain? You think I may have manipulated the witnesses?
I didn't say that. It's just, you see, everyone has just been talking and...
Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution.
A solution?
That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses.
Well, there's no precedent for what you're proposing.
Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
I say... Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well, the defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
And it's settled. Defense may now call forth the next witness.
Mr. Wright, you do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over. We've been playing the pronoun game for a long time. The defense calls. The time's finally come to bring out the real murderer.
Take that!
Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
Damon Gant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel like we should hear what he has to say about it. As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. Oh yeah, you too, Curry. Hope you have a good night's rest, and hope everybody else, including anybody who just greeted and needed to yeet, have a good night's rest too.
Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye. 'Cause now it's time to go. But hey, I say, well, that's okay.
We'll be waiting for you to come and play. To come and play. To come and play. Bye now.
You'd also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor?
True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand.
Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir?
Worthy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation?
So, you want to play hardball, eh?
Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Damon Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Oh, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh?
Like what? Like the role you played in all of this.
Son,
Either you're very brave,
or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
weapons?
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
What? Is that true?
I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify.
Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Oh, don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of my time, don't say I did warn you.
Very well, the witness may now begin his testimony.
As I recall, Neo and I were questioning him that day. To make a long story short, we slipped up. That power outage didn't help either. When I went to my office, I found Lana there. Apparently she had already arranged the crime scene. As you could see, I had nothing to do with the forgery.
Is that when Dark was arrested?
Him? He was lying on the floor unconscious. When Emma sent Eel flying, it seems Dark bumped his head.
I see. Everything seems pretty clear-cut.
If the police chief has the right to refuse to testify, then I'd better hit him hard and fast. Lana did admit to forging evidence, but that can't be the whole truth. Somehow I've got to link Gant to the incident. Actually, before we do that, we need to press him. Before we save, we need to press him. So the two of you ran immediately after him, right?
That's right, but Dark made it to the elevator first.
So Neil and I slipped up.
We went upstairs and I went downstairs. I guess you could say he got lucky.
What's this about a power outage?
Oh, that. The elevator stopped all of a sudden. I got the shock of my life. Well, probably not as shocked as Neil when that heart went to his heart, though.
That's not funny. I have a good feeling that the next few times I need to press him, he's gonna continue on and on and on. Oh boy. Could you tell us what you saw when you...
It was a shocking sight. Neil and that serial killer were lying in a heap on the floor, all tangled together.
Dark was also lying collapsed on the floor?
Yes, apparently he hit his head and was knocked out. Next to them were those two poor girls.
Lana and Emma.
Lana was cradling Emma in her arms. Looking back at it now, she must have already known what her sister had done.
So you're saying that the forgery had already taken place by the time you arrived at your office?
That's exactly what I'm saying. I can understand how Lana must have felt. But moving a body and hiding evidence are inexcusable no matter what the circumstances.
Is that how it really went down? Staring at the witness won't do you any good, Mr. Wright. If you're going to stare at anything, you'd be better off staring at the court record.
Worthy, always the smooth talker.
But which piece of evidence ties Gant to the forgery? The evidence list? It had to be the evidence list because that was in his desk.
Objection!
Got it. You claim you had nothing to do with the forgery. But I'm afraid that is a claim you cannot back up.
Explain yourself.
Several pieces of evidence were found in your office. Take this list, for example.
That's the list Emma drew her picture on.
This was discovered in your desk. Not only that, but a piece of this jar that was sitting in your office was found inside your safe.
It was found where?
You see, Chief Gant, these articles of evidence uncovered in your office are both concrete proof that you also played a part in the illegal investigation.
Chief Gant, what's the meaning of this?
Oh, here's a defense attorney who may even rival Worthy.
So you admit to it then? That you were involved in the forgery?
Who, me? Or do you mean you?
Me? Why would I have anything to do with that?
Well, you were the one who snuck into my office when you found this evidence. Prosecutors aren't the only ones capable of forging evidence, you know. Defense attorneys can do so too. Isn't that right, Righto?
Objection!
However, Detective Gumshoe was present during the investigation. Worthy, my boy. Not even detectives are exempt from the law. Rest assured, Dick will receive his due punishment.
What? If Detective Gumshoe's salary drops any further, he'll end up paying to work.
Yes, well, in light of the detective's presence, please give us your testimony regarding these pieces of evidence found in your office, and their relation to the forgery that took place at the crime scene.
Aye, my. Kids these days no longer know how to put two and two together.
That's way too much hydration.
Let's see, what was now? A jar fragment? And a list? For all I know, you could have planted them at my office. Anyways, you can't prove when these pieces of evidence were discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless. There's no reason I'd participate in a forgery. Rearranging the crime scene wouldn't help me out in any way.
And thank you for putting in the points, Kaiser dude.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
when investigating the crime scene, you should have been more careful to observe protocol.
You do understand that I am the chief of police, right? There will be consequences.
Oh, indeed. I believe I will press charges, so you won't make the same mistake again.
My apologies, Chief, but would you mind waiting until tomorrow for that? Today is, you know.
All right, Udgy. In return, though.
I know. That place, right?
What are these guys, telepathic? Gant isn't the one who murdered Prosecutor Marshall 2 years ago. Yet I know he played a part in the forgery. That can only mean someone asked him to be an accomplice. Damon Gant, someone's accomplice? That sounds unlikely. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Objection!
Oh, wrong way. I was going to examine it. I didn't mean to present it. Welp. What do you mean by that?
This is all purely hypothetical, of course. But suppose I did place those items in my safe. Such an act wouldn't necessarily constitute forgery.
Objection!
If concealing evidence found at a crime scene isn't forgery, I'm not through speaking yet, righto. It all depends on when the evidence was discovered. If they were found after Dark was convicted, then they're worthless.
Hold it!
How can you look me in the eye and say that?
Because I'm innocent.
Remember? Who was it that murdered Neil?
Not sure I care for the word murder here. But in the end, the person responsible for Mr. Marshall's unfortunate demise was Emma Sky.
Well, now do you see?
Hold it!
Are you saying this jar fragment wasn't discovered in the initial investigation?
It would appear not. After all, it wasn't listed in the evidence list. For all we know, it could have suddenly materialized the day after Dark was sentenced.
Objection!
And wouldn't that be convenient, right? The chief is talking about a possibility, so long as you can't rule that out. Your remarks, however clever they may be, will only succeed in wasting time. Tell me something I don't know.
Come now, righto. Think about it.
Hold it! Hold it!
Really, Chief Gant? At the very least, there's one very large benefit you've reaped from all this.
Oh, I wasn't aware. What is this so-called benefit?
That would, of course, be the position you have, Chief of Police.
Oh,
The resolution of the SL9 incident secured your promotion to Chief. That in itself is sufficient motive.
Oh, that's a good one.
Huh?
Do you really think I'm that incompetent?
What do you mean?
Even without that case, I was already in line to become the next chief. The resolution of SL9 merely sped up the inevitable a little.
Is that true, Edgeworth? Yes, he was going to be made chief anyway.
Gah! Be careful when pointing that finger. You might wind up being the one pointed at.
So that means there's only one possible motivation for you to commit forgery. If you didn't do it for yourself, then you did it for someone else.
Don't be silly, Worthy. You know me better than that. There are only 3 people I look out for. Me, myself, and I. There, it's out in the open now. Oh, gee, would you mind if I changed my testimony a little?
by all means, please do.
If there was nothing in it for him... Well, at least we got that out of him.
Hold it!
Nothing in it for you?
Sorry, but the only person I care about is yours truly. That girl, Lana's little sister, was it? If you think I felt sorry for her, you'd better think again.
You're right. You don't feel sorry for anyone.
Be tough on crime and tough on people. That's how I was raised.
You seem to be lax enough on yourself, though.
Oh, ho, ho. Oh, that's a good one, Worthy.
Could there have been something in it for him? True, you might not help out anyone for their sake, but if it would benefit you, you might decide to assist someone.
Mr. Wright, it appears you're positively determined to portray the chief as a nice man who likes to lend people a hand.
That's not what I meant.
Very well, then.
Those two are working together.
Take that!
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky, the defendant.
I believe it's quite obvious in light of the circumstances. Emma Sky fell victim to an unfortunate series of events. Who would want to help her more than her own sister Lana? And as for Chief Gant, he would also have a reason to help Lana if she asked him to. That reason, of course, is self-profit.
Self-profit? What do you mean?
After the SL9 incident was resolved, Lana Sky was appointed chief prosecutor at the prosecutor's office. The person who arranged this job change was you, Chief Gant.
But how would he profit from all of this?
He would be able to use the chief prosecutor as his puppet. Essentially, he would acquire unchecked authority over all investigations.
You mean to tell me that despite the chief's formidable appearance, he plays with puppets?
What?
Oh, wait.
I'm the only one using sound effects here. People don't use sound effects. We have sound effects, folks. Oh, wait.
You must mean puppet as in someone forced to do his bidding. Never mind.
Admit it, Chief. You assisted Lana Sky in forging evidence. Your motive? To appoint her as chief prosecutor so you could control her.
Righto, my boy. You have quite an imagination. Let me ask you something. Do you have any proof of this? That I controlled Lana? For example, is Lana testifying that I've done such a thing?
Lana, she's keeping quiet to protect Emma. There's no way she'd testify against Gant.
I'm afraid without any proof, this all amounts to nothing more than mere conjecture.
You're right about that, Your Honor. That is why we must also save to make sure this is not baseless conjecture. Unless that is also what happened in this incident.
This incident? Which one would that be?
Of course I'm talking about the murder of Detective Bruce Goodman. The chief prosecutor has been acting strange throughout this entire trial. Almost as if someone has been controlling her.
Worthy, you better watch your tongue. I wouldn't want you to get hurt.
Just what do you mean?
What he means, Your Honor, is that Chief Gant is involved in the murder of Detective Goodman. Not only that, but the Chief is now making Lana take the rap to cover up his involvement.
What? What? Order, I said order. Mr. Wright, you can't be serious.
Huh?
This is an affront to the highest ranking officer in a law enforcement agency. To accuse the chief of police of blackmail and murder? That's impossible.
Your Honor, I was merely reiterating what Mr. Edgeworth said in easier to understand language. It's too late, Mr. Wright. There's no turning back for us now. Looks like he's the one who's decided to go through with this.
And you prove this, Mr. Wright.
I could prove something by saving first.
That the chief, a high-ranking officer of the law, is involved in this murder.
Good question. Regardless of his rank or title, Chief Gant is just a man. The question is he a criminal? I believe the evidence will tell.
I see. Alright then, let's see what Mr. Wright's got, and it better be good. Show us this evidence that ties Chief Gant to the murder of Detective Goodman.
It has to be the case files because both their names are in there.
Well, Chief,
So long as Raito here is tossing out things regardless of their relevance. Mind if I toss something too, Wudgy? This shoe should do nicely. I'll chuck it right at you.
you always were quite the joker, weren't you?
Oops, looks like I got it wrong. But both their names are in the case files. What the heck? That's BS. Why isn't this game series a type of thing where more than one? Oh yeah, only one type of evidence works. Both their names are in the files. What the heck? So we have to go back to Detective Goodman.
Oh.
Take that!
Damn it. Not again? Come on. Keep on running out of brain juice. That doesn't prove anything.
Take that!
Oh, not again. The only other thing I could think of is the ID thing. The ID list, because, like... Because his ID was used in the evidence room. And we can all assume that the victim was murdered before a fake murder occurred. That's the only thing I could keep. That's the only thing I could think of.
This is the ID card list.
Yes, the one that shows who entered the evidence room on the day of the crime. There was one ID on the list we couldn't determine the owner of yesterday. A lot of 7s.
Sorry, but there's no way you can prove that's my card number.
It's your number.
How do you know that?
The safe in Chief Gant's office requires a code to open. A 7-digit code.
7 digits you don't mean?
I'm afraid so, Your Honor. The code was... quintuple 7s. The same as the remaining ID card number on that list. Chief Gant, you entered the evidence room on the day of the crime.
Order, order. Chief Gant, what do you have to say?
Nothing. The defense's search of my office was in violation of regulations.
And I will demand Mr. Wright be punished to the maximum extent of the law. But right now this court demands an explanation from you. What about the use of this ID card?
Chief Gant, so you admit it. You entered the evidence room on the day of the crime?
What about it? I'm chief of police. Whether it's the evidence room or the bathroom, what's the difference? I can go anywhere I want.
Tell me, when you entered the room, were you alone?
I always go to the bathroom alone, as I do with the evidence room.
Detective Goodman wouldn't have happened to be with you that day, would he?
Of course not. Why would he be? I haven't seen him in days.
Objection. You hadn't seen him in days, Chief Gant? I'm afraid you've just undone yourself. On that day, you had to have met with Detective Goodman.
What do you mean?
Hold on, let me save here first. I have to keep on saving because I'm afraid I keep on messing up like that one moment. Jesus Christ, this trial is long.
This trial's purpose is to determine Lana Sky's guilt.
Objection!
No, it isn't, Your Honor. This trial's purpose is to determine the truth. If Chief Gant met the victim on the day of the crime, then we need more to determine one thing. What transpired during that meeting?
In that case, Mr. Wright, I'm going to have to ask you for evidence. Show us proof that the victim went to meet Chief Gant on the day of the crime.
The lost item report. Detective Goodman lost his ID card on the day of the crime. Or to be more accurately, Jake Marshall stole it. So Detective Goodman filled out a lost item report. He would have had to give that report to the chief of police. Yet you are in possession of the report, which means you can't be sure if he filled it. If he filed it. If he filed it, how do I know, you ask? Because he needed to enter the evidence room that day.
He needed to?
Yes, to transfer the evidence out.
Oh.
Detective Goodman took the form to you, Chief Gant. Then, you accompanied the detective to the evidence room.
I accompanied him?
There's no other way the murderer and the Detective Goodman could have entered the room.
Hold on, let me guess what you're going to say next. I, the chief of police,
Murdered poor Goodman. Exactly.
But wait, the chief didn't necessarily need to accompany him to the evidence room. He could have just lent him his ID card.
Yes.
Now that you mention it, I believe I might have done something of the sort.
Objection!
Sorry, but that's not possible. According to the record, your card was only used once. Yet you showed us your ID card earlier. If you really had lent it to Detective Goodman, it would have been found on his body. What is it? Mortal Kombat? Is he become Raiden?
Chief Gant, you didn't...
The murder was most likely a spur-of-the-moment crime. For no one in their right mind would choose the police department as a place to commit murder. After the murder, you contacted Lana at the prosecutor's office. Why? To dispose of Detective Goodman's body, of course.
Objection!
You were forgetting, Mr. Wright, that the victim's body was discovered in the prosecutor's office parking lot. How did he manage to move it there?
I was at the police department the entire day, you know.
And everyone's aware that Lana stayed at the prosecutor's office after the ceremony. Everyone except me, it seems. Still, you're the chief of police. You have an entire police force at your disposal.
Oh, so you think I just ordered an officer to do it? Hey, you, take this here dead body over to the prosecutor's office. I don't think so.
Chief Gant, you left all the evidence we need to prove how you moved the body to the prosecutor's office. And all this time I thought I was a useless clue that just taking up space.
How could the chief have moved the body?
We figured the answer out before this moment. We figured it out.
Mr. Wright, show us this evidence.
To move the victim's body, Chief Gant used this.
Take that!
This is how he moved Detective Goodman's body.
What's that? A screwdriver? But what does that have to do with this case?
Mr. Edgeworth, think back to the day of the crime. What is this screwdriver doing here? It's here because... I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. They told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Now he's seeing the big picture. After the ceremony ended that day, I didn't plan to return to the prosecutor's office. But you did, because Chief Gant asked you to.
You mean I
became an unwittingly accidental accomplice? The body was found in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. I think it's obvious what happened. The body was moved by that car.
Detective Goodman's body was carried in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car.
Yes, unless, of course, you have another explanation, Chief. Why else would you have asked Mr. Edgeworth to transfer evidence from a closed case? There's only one plausible explanation. To transport the body to your accomplice, Ms. Lana Skye.
Order, order, order. What's going on here? Is there no room for rebuttal to the defense's outrageous accusations?
Think back to the photograph Miss Starr took at the prosecutor's office. This was not a photo of the body being stuffed in the trunk to be taken away. It was exactly the opposite. It is a photo of the body being taken from the trunk.
Chief Gant, please say something.
I believe your time's up.
My time's up?
Sorry, Raito, but I'm having lunch with the District Attorney General after this. We have to get going if we're going to make it in time for the early bird special.
But the cross-examination isn't finished yet.
Remember what I told you earlier? A police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal.
Weapons?
Like the right to refuse to testify. I'm invoking that right now.
Well, that's not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
So you're going to just run away after all this?
Run away? Don't make me laugh, Worthy. I stabbed old Goodman. That's what you're saying, right? But if you had any conclusive evidence, you would have presented it by now.
Well, I
don't think I had Lana dispose of the body. If so, then show your proof and get it over with.
I'll say it again, Mr. Wright. Damon Gant is the current chief of police. This court will not tolerate any accusations against him without concrete proof.
I know. I think I know.
Well, Mr. Wright,
Your Honor?
you have any concrete proof? Proof that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman and made Miss Skye dispose of his body?
I have no proof. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. No, Your Honor, at present I have no conclusive evidence.
See, Yaji?
In that case, this court is forced to penalize you for your allegations against the chief.
Here's a tip. Never gamble what you can't afford to lose, Raito. It seems that Lady Luck was on my side again today. Okay, Aji, I'll leave the rest to you.
I warned you earlier, Mr. Wright. This...
So we do need to present evidence. I'm not so sure if I want to present it, though. That's the thing. If I do have evidence, what the heck do I want to present? If I can't let him just squirm his way out of this. I've got to keep the pressure on. Yes, Your Honor, I do have such evidence.
Please hurry up and present it, just remember. It better prove that Chief Gant murdered Detective Goodman beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Victim's memo found in the car trunk. Touch the... Found at the crime scene wrapped in the defendant's muffler. Something that proves he murdered. I don't know. What evidence do I present that can tie him to the murder? Is it the evidence room floor plans? Because there's a fingerprint behind the blue badger.
So, what exactly is this evidence?
It's proof as to whether or not it's enough to demonstrate the chief's guilt. I'll let you be the judge.
I am the judge.
Oh, right. Oh my god. Am I supposed to be penalized here? Am I supposed to get penalized in this situation? I feel like we're gonna have to take an L, honestly, because I don't know. I feel like we're gonna have to take an L here. It's no use showing evidence I'm not even sure of myself. At present, I have no conclusive evidence. We're gonna have to fast forward the dialogue. Because, like, right now, if we look at everything here...
Objection!
Oh! Lady Luck, maybe we should have a word with her.
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
There's one lady who knows the real truth behind this trial. We haven't yet had the honor of hearing her testimony. A lady who knows the truth? Another witness! In the absence of conclusive evidence, the only other method of proof is testimony. But Chief Gand has invoked his right to refuse to testify. There is still someone else, one more witness who can answer all the questions. Raised in this trial, someone right in this very room.
Mr. Edgeworth, who was this person?
Why are you asking me, Your Honor? Have you forgotten? The defense is the one calling witnesses today.
Mr. Wright, does such a witness exist?
She may not be willing to tell the truth, but we can't just stop now. Yes, Your Honor. The defense calls forth...
The defendant? Is Lana Sky?
She was in the underground parking lot at 5:15 p.m. on February 21st. Her task? To dispose of the victim's body. In accordance with a certain someone's orders.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has no objections, Your Honor.
Very well. The court will now take its final recess for the day. In 15 minutes, we will reconvene to hear the defendant's testimony. This court is now under...
Hold on, Chotomate.
Chief Gant, I thought you were going to eat.
Listen good, Lana.
He's talking to Lana.
I don't think you need me to tell you this, but if you accept Mr. Wright's claims, there will be terrible consequences. That's right. Your sister will be found guilty
For Neil Marshall's murder. This isn't good.
Of course, you never support such outrageous claims anyway, right? Just something to think about. All right then. I've got a lunch date to meet.
Okay, if there aren't any further objections, this court is now in recess.
February 25th, 2:04 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 2. We're just right about to the finale now. Looks like we managed to stay in the game. Oh, Edgeworth here breaking the fourth wall now. Yeah, thanks to your help, Edgeworth.
Chief, he's something else, eh, pals?
Detective Gumshoe.
I'm not a detective anymore.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Oh yeah, do you mean to do...
Oh, no! Don't worry, I've already decided where to work now. At your office.
My office?
Sure.
I'll take the place of that top-knotted girl you used to work with. I'm sure Maya Fey is going to come back later. Could he mean... Maya?
Still, looks like we're all out of moves now. Chief Gant's done it again. Housing always gets in the upper hand.
It's not fair he has the right to refuse to testify. Settle down, Wright. Remember what the judge said?
But Chief, that is not a right to be casually invoked. There are certain risks to be considered.
Risks? What did he mean by that? It's simple. If the chief refuses to testify, the opposite also holds true. He forfeits his right to say anything too. Emma! Emma, are you okay?
Yeah, when I came to, I was in the medical office. I've been listening to the trial from the gallery.
So she heard everything that's been going on. Emma, I'm sorry for what I said before.
No, don't be. It was the truth. You know, it's funny. I almost feel somehow relieved.
Relieved?
Yeah. Now I finally know what really happened.
But is that what really happened, though? Is that what really happened?
To think that all this time, my sister was being blackmailed by that terrible man. And she did it all, just to protect me.
Ever since her appointment as chief prosecutor, everyone who knew her said she changed. Perhaps it was easier that way for her.
What do you mean?
What do you think I mean? To follow Chief Gant's orders. She must have shut herself up deep inside. To force herself to do anything and everything the chief told her to do. That must be why she became so cold.
It's all my fault. It's all because I murdered Mr. Marshall.
Hey, don't go blame yourself now. If you want to blame anyone, blame society, pal.
Chief Gant may be able to fool everyone else with his forgery, but he can't fool my memory. I remember now. I knocked Mr. Marshall into that armor.
I see.
Well, we better get back. It's time for the final act.
Emma, why don't you wait here?
No, I'm going with you. I want to be there. When Lana tells the truth.
Let's go, Wright. It's time to end this. Okay. Let's save, and speaking of a recess, I do need to take one more recess myself before we actually get into this final case, but let me go ahead and get things started by saying February 25th, 2:21 p.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 9, the final act. Well, there ain't no turning back now. We are now in the finale.
Now then, will the defendant, Miss Lana Sky, take the stand?
Alright, this is it. Ms. Lana Sky, you are the chief prosecutor. I'm sure you're aware of what is required of you.
But, Mr. Edgeworth, you already know everything. You know all that I've done those past 2 years.
Please provide the court with your testimony, Miss Sky. And remember, you are under oath. We want to hear the truth.
Of course. The truth.
Lana, no matter what happens, I'll always be your sister.
Now then, your testimony, if you will. Tell us about your relationship with Chief Gant.
Everything hinges on your testimony. You're the only chance we have to get Gant. Oh. Your judge's voice sounds like an older version of Lord Beerus from Dragon Ball Super. You want to hear the judge voice I based mine off of? I'll actually I'll give you the voice.
Regardless the circumstance, I intend to question the defendant with all I have. For that is a part of my creed.
Then you'd better bring it.
If the two of you are ready,
That's the judge's voice.
court is now in session for the trial of Athena Sykes.
Your Honor, the defense was born ready.
The prosecution is also ready.
Now, I don't know if that judge's actor is the same voice as Beerus, but I'm sure it's a different person who at least like would put up a good Beerus impression for you. That's the voice I try to base mine off of for an FYI as a reference. And that's in a later game. That's in Dual Destinies. That's not an anime. That's an actual animated cutscene from this game. This is game number 5. This is game number 5, and it has cutscenes. You know what else has cutscenes? Game number 6. Game number 5 and game number 6 have cutscenes. You just probably haven't been aware, Sonic. They've been animated with cutscenes for the 3DS when they came out like years ago. But the animation quality in the cutscenes for specifically the 3DS has a pretty good quality in compared to the actual Ace Attorney anime. The Gyakuten Saiban anime.
I worked alongside Gant for years. There's no truth to this blackmail theory. I fabricated the evidence 2 years ago all by myself. When I found Prosecutor Marshall's body, I rearranged the crime scene. My only motivation was to get Dark convicted. It had nothing to do with Emma.
Are you sure about this testimony?
Your Honor, I'm confessing to a capital offense. Of course I'm sure.
But Lana,
If this is true, then that means Chief Gant has nothing to do with this.
That's what I've been telling you from the very beginning.
please, Mr. Wright. You've got to help her. She's sacrificing herself because of me.
What if she's telling the truth?
She's not. I know my own sister.
Whenever she speaks stiffly, she's hiding something. If only I have an extra video game mechanic I can use to expose that stiffness.
Deep down, she's really screaming in agony.
Yeah, this is no time to start second-guessing myself.
The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
I've got to get Lana to talk more. If she's lying, then she's bound to slip up and make a contradiction. Did you do so to help your sister?
Joe Dark was a serial killer. My sister almost became his last victim that day. I didn't want that incident to ruin her life.
But what she did was justifiable self-defense. She wouldn't have been charged with anything.
That's not the point. She was traumatized that day all because of that creep. That's why I couldn't forgive him.
Lana,
Oh, that's why you fabricated the evidence 2 years ago.
You say you did this all by yourself?
Yes.
Would you mind telling us what you found when you arrived at the crime scene?
It seems I was the first person to discover the scene. The broken prosecutor award knife was stuck on the victim's body.
What? Wait a minute. But Prosecutor Marshall died from an unfortunate accident.
That's only a situation you dreamed was possible. The reality is, it wasn't my sister who took the prosecutor's life. Fantasize all you want, Mr. Wright, but I'll never change this statement.
You mean Prosecutor Marshall wound up being killed by Dark?
Something like that.
If that is so, what happened to the other murder weapon? Dark was carrying a switchblade knife.
Oh, that was lying on the floor a little distance away. It was probably knocked away in the struggle.
That's not how it went down. She's trying to cover up her lies with more lies.
oh, just to protect me.
So when you found the scene like this, what did you do? After all, this is what everything boils down to.
I broke off the tip of Dark's knife, planted it inside the wound, and moved the body. Hold up. You planted the tip of Dark's knife in the victim's wound?
And then you moved the body?
But why? Why would you do that?
You of all people should know, Edgeworth. You've always had a good head on your shoulders.
My head isn't that bad, but maybe I ought to ask for the sake of others. But why did you do that?
Come now, Mr. Wright, even you should be able to figure it out.
Very well, let's add this to the witness's testimony. The reason Miss Sky fabricated the knife.
When you showed up on the scene, where exactly was the victim's body?
It was where you deduced it was, by Chief Gant's desk.
But the body was found by your desk. Why did you move it there?
The reason for that is simple.
Let's have the witness explain this in more detail. The reason Miss Sky moved the body.
Pieces of the jar, you mean?
Yes, that wretched jar you showed us earlier. In order to show that Dark committed the crime, I felt it would be more expedient to move the body.
So when you first found the body, the jar was already...
Of course, it had been shattered to pieces. If you looked at the crime scene, it would be clear right away what happened. Neil Marshall was dead and Dark was lying unconscious. In other words, the jar must have been broken during the struggle.
I see.
What's the matter, Emma?
Apparently, the jar shattered at the time the crime was committed. But I have a feeling there's more to it than that.
Must be a contradiction here somewhere.
Anyway, I committed this fabrication completely alone.
This is getting a little bit excessive and excessive. According to your testimony, Prosecutor Marshall's broken knife was the murder weapon, right?
Yes, and I leave it that might point the blame away from Dark. I felt the most effective way to get him convicted would be by having the tip of his knife found inside the victim's body.
So you buried it inside the victim's stab wound?
Yes, because I hated Dark for what he did.
I think the jar thing is a contradiction to something somewhere. Wait a minute. How are the pieces There's a contradiction. There's a contradiction.
Objection!
Nope. No, I can realize there's a contradiction, but I guess... Oh my god. Oh my god, my god, my god, my god. I feel like my head is about to snap. So the jar thing is a the game clearly says that the jar statement is a contradictory statement. Is the jar itself? I mean, the only reason I could think of that is because Emma's name was written on it.
Objection!
That's the only thing I could think of. Miss Sky, I understand how you feel. You committed that crime 2 years ago to protect your sister.
You mean the forgery at the scene where Neil Marshall was murdered?
If that truth were to be exposed now, the past 2 years of your life will have been in vain. Even so, I am compelled to bring everyone's attention to a significant contradiction within your testimony.
A contradiction in my testimony?
You testified, and I quote, "The pieces of the jar that shattered during the events threatened my plan."
That's right.
You have a problem with that?
It's a simple oversight, really. You see, a message was written on this jar with the victim's blood.
Yes, the prosecutor must have written it in his final moments.
Exactly so. And this is where the contradiction lies. In order for the victim to be able to write his message on the jar, it must not yet have been broken before he died. Oh. He couldn't have written Emma's name on a shattered jar. That's a good point.
Order, order.
Your Honor, it would appear more information is needed in regard to this jar and its bloody message. It may be missing something critical here. Something critical? Chief Prosecutor, it seems you're in as the dark as we are about the truth towards which we're headed.
What?
Just tell us exactly what you saw. We'll piece together the information to arrive at the truth.
Very well, the witness may now continue her testimony.
I immediately not noticed the blood traces on the jar, but it was dark in the room and I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
You mean you were the one who wiped away the message in blood?
I wasn't chief prosecutor at the time.
She didn't think Dark was the real murderer. That's why she tried to erase the real evidence.
Very well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
More contradictions have surfaced. Your sister's really putting up a fight. She said it was dark, but... Hold on. I have to press her. I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened.
What do you mean?
If you really thought Drake killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have to wipe away the blood.
What else could I have done in this situation?
Hey, thank you for putting in the points, James.
I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces.
So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar?
No, if I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and
Ground them to... Wait a minute. If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
This is rather shocking.
So you illegally rearranged the crime scene.
Yes, I don't have any excuse for my actions.
I'm so sorry, Lana. I didn't know. I've treated you so badly all this time.
It's not too late. There's still plenty of time to make up.
No doubt this day will leave a permanent stain on the history of the prosecutor's office.
But how could you see with the power out? It should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I always carry a pocket light and a camera with me.
Even I carry a bottle of emergency lumino wherever I go.
I never miss anything. I got every last
Wait. You sure you got all the pieces? I feel like I may need to present the jar again, because the final piece was found in the safe.
Objection!
I knew it! Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of. We found the final piece of this jar in Chief Gant's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it. She really didn't know. There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was... still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she gathered every last piece and wiped the blood off of them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night Prosecutor Marshall was murdered, you were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gant got there before you. That's a fair point.
But couldn't the defendant have simply missed a piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective. Ooh, new game series.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I wasted an entire day looking for my dentures. They were in my mouth all along. Can you believe that?
Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gant. At the time, he was looking for Dark downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he need to break the jar?
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that fact for 2 years? Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
No. Wait, I'm not the one on trial here.
Damon Gant arrived at the scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar and purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence.
Why would Chief Gant do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gant's aid. Landing her as aid, Gant helped her create evidence that incriminated Dark, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet.
No, I did it on my own. Please, sis, stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake.
No, you didn't. It wasn't you, Emma. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys make up the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Foul lies? Imagine that coming from my own client.
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
Wait a minute. What if we're still smack dab in the middle of Gant's trap?
Is something wrong, Mr. Wright?
I think Mr. Wright has figured it out. He's figured something out. Lana may be right after all. What do you mean, Mr. Wright?
So you do tell foul lies?
Miss Skye, please testify once more.
But
if evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But I do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall.
Miss Skye, if you will.
I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth.
Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
All right, the witness may testify once more for the final time.
Where it should matter once and for all. For the actual crime scene.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Dark were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what had happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gant help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable. The body was impaled on the armor sword?
You were the only one who saw that. If only you had proof.
Actually, I do have proof. I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What? To me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright? She really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture.
Oh my god, there's a picture we received? Wait a minute. Oh. I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana. She gave it to us this morning. I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again.
The evidence law. It was stuck in the book as a bookmark. Oh! There's something here. What the frick? Hey, there's a picture here.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene.
No other detective saw the crime scene like this, because I contacted Criminal Affairs only after I had rearranged everything.
Mr. Wright! That piece cut out from his vest, could that be?
The cloth we found inside... No. It's a trap. If we present the cloth way too soon, it's going to justify that Emma actually killed Neil Marshall. Frick. Oh, frick, that's the trap. First timers would probably actually present the cloth the first time and get the guilty verdict. Frick. So when the hell can we present the cloth then? If we present it too soon, then damn. When is the cloth relevant? That's the big question. We can obviously see there's a piece of cloth that was cut out from the vest, right here. But now the question lies in when Emma pushed this guy, did he push him into the knight armor? Or did he push him to somewhere else? I think this was the trap that you were warning about, Kaiser dude. I could see it. If it was younger me, I would not have recognized this and got like a bad ending. What's this?
This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth. It had fingerprints on it. Whatever fingerprints those are must be the real murderer.
Those fingerprints, they're yours, Emma.
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, let's get on with the cross-examination. As long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Hold it.
Come now, Udgy. This is the poorest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Cat.
What, now you want to make me out as the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined to testify. That means you forfeited your right to make statements of any sort. This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck.
Ah, so what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all the talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. Wait, you mean you still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't, but someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, Righto? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death? Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt?
Yes, that's true, Mr. Wright.
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any evidence, please present it now.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm going to have to decline that. You think I would fall for this trap? No, we're declining. We politely decline.
If you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
I better think this through carefully. Can't afford to make the wrong decision. The one that shows you really killed... Obviously not. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. I apologize.
What? You lie!
Chief Gant?
You opened my safe!
I know you took what was inside. We just took the base piece. We took the base piece.
The conclusive evidence!
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Oh, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you will present it.
What are you talking about, Chief Gant?
Can't you figure it out? I'll take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
It looks like part of it's been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this? In your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gall, Righto. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What you mean? You admit to it?
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her.
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with her sister, then, at when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky?
I told her to arrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife tip in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I ended up using that evidence to get Joe Dart convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe?
But why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that a girl committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging the evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jar fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood off all the pieces.
Objection!
But if you fabricated all the evidence, what's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too? Hey, Edgeworth has a point.
Oh, some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, Righto, cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright?
So you admit to it then, Chief Gant? That you were hiding the cloth that you cut off the victim's vest in your safe?
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that being chief and all. But it's a lot better than being portrayed as a murder.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago you said didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, Righto. You should have shown it before it was too late.
It's been a long battle. The moment of truth has finally arrived. The game wants me to present the piece of cloth. This is a trap. The game wants me to show the piece of cloth so we could get the bad ending. You know what else, though? Here's the thing. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. That's 1. Rule number 2. Evidence that's not registered must be relevant to the trial. Keep that in mind, guys. Is the piece of cloth relevant to pinning this guy as the murderer? No. That's why we're not putting it out there. If we put that out there, we just get a bad ending. We get a guilty verdict on Emma. Oh, it's too late to show evidence now. Besides, even if I did, it just exposed that poor girl's fingerprints. Right. Think hard over the circumstances. The circumstances? I'm talking then and now. There's one major difference between the two. Weren't you waiting for that difference? So, it's worth thinking out my plan. Maybe we need to actually present a different piece of evidence. We don't need to present the cloth. Unless I'm overthinking it. This is really a pivotal point in the case, and it could really make or break me. Wait a minute. The vest has blood on it. Where's the blood? Guys. Where's the blood? Where's the victim's blood? Where the heck is the blood? That's a contradiction. Hello? Hold up. Where's the blood? Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
All right then, let's see this conclusive evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, your opinion, please.
I think Mr. Wright's humor has improved at the expense of his defense. Okay. Maybe it's time we do present the cloth here. However, we might have to explain ourselves about it. Hopefully we can explain ourselves. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh ho, yes. At last you finally brought it out into the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather. It must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean?
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence.
Ho ho ho. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Worthy.
What?
Think about it. Raito had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You may already know. You know whose fingerprints are on that.
Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom this belongs to is Emma Sky. Unfortunately.
Emma? Emma Sky?
They're mine?
I'm sorry, Emma.
But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Oh. You're really something, Raito. You knew this girl did it all along, and you still try to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death?
How could you? You monster!
Miss Sky.
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't.
No. Miss Sky, it's not over yet.
What?
I said this trial is far from over.
Ha, but I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I'll have your badge, Sonny.
Allow us to explain ourselves, please.
Boy.
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Aren't you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh, and what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
What?
Chief Gant, you're absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Sky, wasn't it?
Incorrect. I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction, one that proves who the real killer is.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict?
Chief Gant, your tyrannical reign ends here. The piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth is the picture.
And what exactly is this supposed to be?
This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest, though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs no doubt were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth.
But that piece of cloth... Wait. There's no blood on it.
Since Emma Sky's fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time.
No, this is nonsense. This is bullcrap. This is absurd.
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Ms. Lana Skye, picked up the unconscious prosecutor, and impaled him on the armor's sword? Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they then broke on purpose, to leave behind a clue, and make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's chest? The victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer.
No!
Okay, he's gonna try to defend himself, though. It's finally all over. He's gonna say, hold it. Or objection.
Objection! Oh, that was close, Raito. You almost had me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refute your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
Order! Order! What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Uji? Earlier, old Raito here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Raito? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this time.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Oh, ho, 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 ho. Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh's on you, Sonny.
I'm afraid Mr. GUD's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person. Assuming, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems at last. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
I purposefully hid it, but I didn't conceal it illegally. No, if I admit to that, my planning will have been for nothing.
It seems.
Oh, come on. Alright. The glove don't fit. But it's all coming together, James. It's all coming together. I admit, I refused to present it at one point.
Aha! So the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gant.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then, it's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
No, Uji, don't listen to his lies. Nothing but a coward.
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well, let us settle this once and for all. Earlier you refused to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, do so now.
With the evidence law. This is my proof, Your Honor. The evidence law.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma Sky's fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, this was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in this book, the second rule of evidence law. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself, inside your safe. It goes without saying, I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux of the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented?
I was shown only a few moments ago.
No.
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it value as evidence was you, Damon Gant. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest?
Oh, yes. No!
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. You, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moment. In other words, the real murderer. And there's only one person who that could be. Damon Gant, the killer was you. You're the imposter.
Oh.
We did it. We did it, boys and girls. We did it. We did it, boys and girls. Round of applause for us. Huzzah!
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years, he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convinced Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman?
Yeah, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll only lose my chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshall didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room, and all of a sudden he decided to speak out.
What are you talking about, Goodman? Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered. He opened his evidence locker, and as he was taking the evidence out, he said, "It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall."
Well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up SL9. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife.
I couldn't just pull it out. Doing so would have only led to more blood, making it near impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it up. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
He's saying this so casually, it's disturbing. The bloody print on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
I used to be known as the crime computer. But everyone has to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car?
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
Ugh. Leaving the prosecution's car aside, how? How could you get Miss Sky involved in all this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker?
I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take.
So, you left the jar fragments in the glove?
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. Well, the mystery's solved, folks. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go at it alone. Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Udgy.
What?
Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
I'm sorry too, Damon Gant. I knew you as you used to be long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Udgy. Thanks for all the memories, though. Don't worry. You'll be fine. Now that you have Raito over there, and Worthy, with these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning.
There are two things I want you to understand.
Yes?
First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damon Gant betrayed you from the beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent.
You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gant help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky. I couldn't get you out of all the trouble.
My, what high standards you have. For a rookie. I could see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now, you just might make it to the top.
Aw, she's smiling.
I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright.
Miss Sky.
And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you.
It was nothing. Liar.
I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh. Wholesomeness. Wholesomeness. I'm breaking down from wholesomeness. Stop it, I only did my job.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining is in order for all of us. Miss Sky,
Yes, Your Honor.
you are innocent of murder, however. Although the chief blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be scheduled for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor. A long time since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone on far too long already.
I agree, Your Honor. Let's end this.
Regarding the charge of murder, this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky,
Not guilty.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
I feel like I should actually place the actual confetti thing here. Oh, hold on. Media source. Confetti effects. There we go. I get to put this in front of everything. Confetti command when, as soon as I can figure out how that can work with the overlay. February 25th, 5:03 p.m., District Court Lobby number 2. At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? It's over. I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended.
I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well.
I'd say we all done well, honestly. Y'all put some brain power tonight, too.
You know,
I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
Oh, I'm not interrupting anything, pals.
You're always interrupting something, Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Won't have to worry about my salary and everything.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making Detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you've called me here. I've seen happy people at funerals for the 3rd time I've said today. Hey, lighten up, pals. I'm only kidding.
Oh.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, pal.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
Lana!
should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know.
Well, I won't tell if you won't.
Emma, I owe you an apology.
It's okay, sis. Don't worry about it.
That day 2 years ago was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in that mess.
Sis.
I asked Gant to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself.
Social distancing? Never mind.
But I couldn't bring myself to tell what you did. I was scared. Scared that you'd look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew.
But sis, you're only doing it for me.
No.
Huh?
I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you.
Sis.
I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
But sis, you don't have to apologize. I'm happy now.
You're happy?
Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have.
Oh, she's smiling again.
Oh, Emma.
Aw, that's so wholesome. I need an aw command for this, but I guess we can all say aw. This is so wholesome. No one could change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in so doing, we can find the way back to our rightful path, and it is from there that we can move on toward a brighter future. At least, that's what I felt, watching the two sisters make up. Mr. Wright, Mr. Gumshoe,
Me?
thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday.
Except...
Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Edgeworth? Where was he hiding? I just came to say, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me. He's still thinking about DL6, damn it. No matter what anyone might say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Not only that, I don't even trust myself anymore. Chief Gant was right.
You despise criminals. I can feel it.
You and me, we're the same.
One day, you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go at it alone.
God damn it. God damn it, Gant. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time now. But Edgeworth? Who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gant did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue on as a prosecutor.
Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damon Gant and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright, and because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? Oh, what? Oh, yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Alana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that... No, I wouldn't define our... Oh! Edgeworth had half of the evidence list. Dude had half of this, and we found the rest of the half.
That's the picture I drew.
Our counterattack began with this. You had one half of the list, and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture.
That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me, there are still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor. We'll see you again, Edgeworth. Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened kill the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you. I know, it seems I owe you my thanks too, right? But what I face now is my own problem. Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court. Farewell. Farewell to thee, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgy Boy.
I better be going too.
Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon.
It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you.
Scientific investigation.
It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well.
Thanks, sis. I will.
And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Aw, it's the wholesomeness again. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, don't go trekking off just yet, pal.
Huh? What is it, detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
What?
I thought you said it was okay.
Oh yeah, it may be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh?
Way to go, detective. I didn't know he had a wild side.
Well, you see, Mr. Wright here is the one who will be footing the bill.
Huh? Huh?
What, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, pal.
Huh? 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 Huh?
Thank you, Mr. Wright. You're the best.
Why do I have to pay for everything? Why is it I suddenly feel I want to scream?
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go pay it off together?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys, let's go. Eekazoo.
I'll say into the microphone at least once. Objection.
Objection!
There, I did it. Whoops. I arranged for a friend of mine in Europe to take care of Emma. I hope she'll be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended my days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Now we have the true credits. The true credits, ladies and gents. Oh, that took a long time.
Yikes, I thought I was a goner for a moment there. In the end, though, they overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'd be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they said. It just goes to show, you can't make me off that easily.
Oh my god. Oh my god. My new mission is to guard the new main entrance and take care of Billy. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them though. Someday, I'm going to be a detective. Yes, sir. Then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. And that thing is still dancing, Monka S? That thing's creeped out Hotbox and the rest of chat for the entire session. Bruh.
Bruh.
We saw that coming. We knew it was gonna break down.
What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with the steak lunch partner? Miss Star managed to sneak this into me. She's seeing one of the guards, it seems. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their water?
I like the performance I did with that guy. Obvious accent is obvious.
Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Right Way Lunch. The top layer tastes as bitter as defeat, but the bottom is as sweet as victory. Kids seem to take the turnabout theme. It's a hot seller around exam time. Just make sure not to eat it backwards.
Oh yeah, true that. Exam time is a time when kids in Japan would really be... Oh, Benja, this is the voice of Phoenix in the DS games. Mr. Localizer himself. Eating foods during exam culture is a thing.
I'll never forget what that young defense lawyer said after the trial. Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I'd better be... Huh? Oh no, I forgot my gavel. Sorry, gotta go.
I would eat that, honestly. I kind of would eat that, low-key. But yeah, in Japan, like, eating foods to help you study, or as a de-stressor, is kind of a culture. Especially Pocky. Pocky in Japan is an exam food. Is an exam snack. Pocky and Kit Kat, I believe, yeah.
Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium.
Mystic Maya, afternoon train is about to begin.
Coming. Well, see you around, Nick.
Bum 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 bum. Oh yeah, P-Joy is also a thing too. I guess it kind of correlates with stress eating, I suppose, or snacking while studying. Well, it's been quite a long night. Can't wait to do my polls later in Genshin. I do have to take care of everything else before the reset. Mr. Edgeworth! Oh, Mr. Edgeworth. I brought you your tea. What's going on? Letter of resignation? Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Ah. Dopamine at last. Oh my god.
Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book.
Wait, did she put a picture in the book? Oh, we can examine it one more time. Ah. Oh my god, that's such a wholesome picture. Oh my god, I'm dying from wholesomeness right now. This is wholesome. The ending of this is so wholesome, I can't believe it. It's wholesomeness overload. Thank you, Capcom, for an amazing first game. Jesus Christ. Okay, what the hell is my uptime? A long time, that's what it is. Well, I can say we can officially say that we've completed... Hold on. We've officially completed the very first game. Just to continue with the first day of Justice for All on Phoenix Wright Friday. Oh my god. Oh my god, it was a long night. What a long case that was. Let me see if I can get this working. Oh, yeah, I forgot. It just it just warps weirdly, because this capture card software is not finalized, apparently, for some reason. Still not as complex as Kirby, you're right about that. Well, can't wait to actually finally get started here. Yeah, thanks for stopping around, Kaiser Dude, and we'll be back later on, well, the regular Wednesday session shall be with Genshin Impact for our banner polls, our first banner polls. It's been a long evening. Oh yeah, I saw the notification. I'll read into it a little bit. Thanks for telling me about it. Well, with that being said and done, Cedo Box, thank you so much for the raid, and Hotbox, thank you for the host. I appreciate it tonight. It's been quite a day. It felt like a pretty short day. It's been a pretty long night, but we do have to end it. So who do I want to send you guys off to tonight? Who do I want to send you guys off to? I forgot to hope. I mean, it's okay, Sonic. It's fine. You can always remember for next time. After all, but yeah, thank you, Hotbox, Kaiser Dude, James, Sonic, Black Lotus, anybody else who could stick around for the final case of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. We'll be back on Phoenix Wright Friday for the first day of Justice for All, which is going to be very, 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 very interesting. I think I'm gonna go ahead and raid a streaming homie. Let me see who I have tonight who I can raid. I have someone playing Neo. I have someone who's doing just chatting. Someone who's playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Wait, hold on. Is she actually playing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game right now? Oh. Oh yeah, she is playing the trading card game. That's pretty geeky and nerdy of her. Yeah, Chisatori, do you see how many hours I have here? Look how much time we spent tonight. And yep. It's more like one and. Look at how many hours. It's too much time. Too much time, and we had all this time. We just finished tonight. What would Nightbot be said in Chinese? 7个小时48分钟42秒. Yeah. I mean, people would still say 晚安. Alright, so let me go ahead and say... Alright, which streaming person do I want to? I feel like I probably should raid my... Gamer hours. It's literally gamer hours, yeah. I think I can probably raid my friend from college. She usually works as a nurse, but in her downtime, like when she's off her shift, she does play, she does hop on stream, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and raid her for now. Her channel's name is Jingarito. And she is playing, she tends to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Streamer nowadays, but she's a good friend of mine from college, and she's pretty friendly all around. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you guys off to her for the rest of the night. And if any of you guys would want to hit me up, y'all know where you can find me. I'll be on Genshin later for my Xiao polls. My Xiao banner polls. I don't think we'll pull him, but we can get a C4 Beto at least. Thursday will be Ocarina of Time. And Friday will be Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. The first day of the second game. So thanks to everybody for stopping on by, and if you are heading out after the raid, then be sure to hopefully have a good evening, morning, or afternoon. Just make sure to wash your hands, wash your face, stay indoors, wear your mask, pray for each other, wish each other best of luck, stay sane, stay chill, stay toasty, and everything. I guess I'll see you all the next time I'm on. Hopefully not too late, because how much time is it now? way too much time. And what time is it in Eastern time right now? Oh, it's like 2 a.m. Eastern time. And in Canada would be pretty late too, just saying. But yeah, hope you all have a good one. I'll be back later with Genshin, I suppose. And Phoenix Wright Friday will be Justice for All. And hopefully we can bring justice for all. Because it's always raining justice in the land of Japanifornia.
Lookin'